and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
How many been a school teacher? You know, the first day of school, you rearrange all your students. So I rearranged all of the seating order. So that's the reason. No other reason than that. Being fully satisfied that all council members are present, we will not call the roll, we'll just record as such. Now, the first meeting in January is entitled the Reorganizational Meeting. And I looked at this, I read it one way and I read it another way. So, the rules of council were adopted for 2 years, so we don't have to adopt any rules of council. If we want to make any changes, we can do that, but this set of rules is in effect for the next year, or this year. That would make it the second year, because it says any even numbered years. And then I thought that meant the same thing for the president of council, but then I read it doesn't. So I will entertain a motion to appoint someone, give me a motion to have a president pro tem of council. And right now, it's Mary Lou Syverson. So now I need a motion to have you give me president of council.
I think Mary Lou.
All right.
I'll
You're
second.
making that a motion then.
No second.
Second. Any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Rebecca Burns.
All right. Rebecca, you have a second to that?
I'll second.
Okay. Any other nominations? Okay, we have 2, and I would ask for a ballot at this time. And I'm going to give you paper ballots, so let's go for it. I'll pass them around. And after that is finished, I want to have an executive session. I turned up the heat, but I don't think it became effective yet. You have elected Mary Lou Syverson Ratliff as your president of council for the year 2017, which will be recorded in the minutes. Thank you. Now, I want an executive session and a motion to give me that executive session.
Yeah, the motion, sir.
Second?
For what reason?
Pardon me?
For the
We
purpose.
need to discuss a personnel issue. That's all I can tell you. It is a very important personnel issue that I have to resolve. You have to resolve. So that's what it is, personnel issue.
But it needs more specificity.
I can't give you any more than that, can I?
Yes, you can. It has to be that way.
Well, I'll tell you what it's about.
I mean,
It is about
according to
whether-
the sunshine law.
We have the resignation of our village fiscal officer. Now, you brought it out. That's
Well,
the
we
issue.
have to know
I will
what
need
it's
an
about.
executive session. Final. That's done.
Good.
Next time I have an issue and I ask for an executive session, I'm not going to take any questions about it. We needed to talk about that in the executive session, so now it's out.
But we have to have a reason, a specific reason.
Yeah,
That was the reason.
and that's not.
But you
It's
didn't give an
personnel.
issue until you were present. You can't just say that. Mark, is that not true?
One more, out of words, out of you, I will ask for you to be removed. We're not discussing this anymore. First of all, I asked for an executive session, and that's what I wanted, to discuss this personnel issue. That should have been enough.
No.
All right, we're done with it. We don't need an executive session. Any other questions from council? You have the minutes from the December 12th meeting. Motion to accept those minutes.
You have that motion?
Any discussion of the minutes? Roll call vote.
Diane?
Me? Oh, I'm over here? Okay, I'm like, wait a minute.
You're first now.
Voice. Yes?
Who seconded the motion?
I first.
Did we have a second?
I'll second.
Jim second.
Diane?
Yes, ma'am.
Rebecca?
Yes?
Jim?
Yes.
Mary Lou?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion carried. First of all, this upsets me to disturb the council with this noise I had earlier. I'm not going to have any more of this. We're going to go on with the meeting as on the agenda. Do you have anyone from public comments? We do not that I know of. Committee assignments, you have the committee assignments before you. Motion to accept the committee assignments.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second.
discussion, roll call vote. I left them most of the same, I did make a couple there. So, roll call vote.
Rebecca?
Yes?
Jim?
Yes.
Mary Lou?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Holidays, you have a holiday schedule. You've had it, questions on it? Motion to accept the holiday schedule.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
No questions, roll call vote.
Jim?
Yes.
Mary Lou?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes?
Rebecca?
Yes.
Council meeting dates, you have all of those. Motion,
I'll give you a motion.
second,
Second.
discussion, if any? Roll call vote.
Mary Lou?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes?
Rebecca?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
I'm going to give you an oral report regarding the state of the village. Starting in January, we accepted the bids for the water tower, or water plant, at $6,687,000. Some of the things that happened, we had the groundbreaking then on April the 14th. Community center, we have a doctor's office that came into town, and the community center built onto the building without any cost in public funds. February, resignation of Vicki Sheets. We hired Cindy Miller. Now you've heard what we're going to have to do now. With other reasons, Cindy doesn't feel she can go on. Not for any reason except she's taken on some health issues and family issues, and she feels she has to give it up. In February, we had the resignation of our mayor, Charlie Neff. March, we hired John Martin as the village administrator. We contracted in March with the J.R. Mason Company, repairing the water treatment plant on North High Street. Mason Parks found some improvements through a grant that we had, Community Development Block Grant. Versa Building was sold after being empty for many years and was purchased by Jerry Alcott. The various problems in the village, one of them was Cliffview, the runoff on the water in Cliffview. We're working on that project. We worked with the new county engineer coming along, and he is presently ready to work with us and resolve that drainage problem, which runs through Pleasant Ridge and swamps at the end of Pleasant Ridge. So we've got to get rid of that. So we're working on that. Christmas in the village was very, very well accepted with the festivals that we had. I talked to Becky Martin today, and now we have a snowman over there. I guess we'll have to make a Valentine out of him. So that's her project now. So the festivals in Mount Sterling were very, very active. Fall street festivals, as well as Christmas in the village. The Chamber of Commerce is working together and doing many things for the benefit of this village. We have to be very proud of them. The library passed a levy for the first time in the history of this library, and it's been here some 100 years plus. The RETA receipts for the income tax were good. $685,000 compared to $581,000 in the year 2015. IGA, no grocery. Instead, he has said that he has sold the building, and there's an HVAC company coming in. I don't know the name of the company or what they're going to do. So it's still being worked on, as I understand it. A lot of cleanup work, and you can define that any way you want to. But still more to do. And we cleaned the building. We power washed the town hall. And if you look at the sign out on Columbus Street, we redid had that sign reconditioned. It looks like new. If you haven't looked at it, go out and look at it. For a very little amount of money, I think it was about $1,000, so we did that. So we cleaned that. We've also repaired some of the windows, painted them, and we worked on the dormers over the doors on the back. So we've done some things at this town hall. We worked on the wastewater treatment. We made the necessary repairs on the wastewater treatment plant. One of them is we built a building to protect the plant and make it easier for the workers and everybody working down there at the wastewater plant. We've also worked on the water replacements, spending money on putting the water back in service, in good service. We've done that. We have more to do, and we're working on that. We've also worked on water replacement meters, and we've found an increase in our revenue as a result of that. So that's promising. I asked Jack if he wanted to do this, but he had the football camp, a very, very successful event. And we're very proud of the fact that we have Jack here and as our sheriff, one of our sheriff's deputies. And I think he probably has the football camp just about ready to open for next year. Kids love it. Okay. We are watching what we spend. And when I was on council before, Charlie would hear it over and over and over and over. We got to watch our spending. And that's what we're doing. We're watching the spending. We don't want to spend them. We are making the necessary expenses and bills and things, but we're watching them so that we don't overspend. We don't want to jeopardize, and we don't want to jeopardize the programs that we have in effect. So the programs are good, and we're not cutting expenditures unnecessarily, but we do want to have. I don't have the balance in the treasury tonight. Cindy wasn't in, so I don't have it. That's about it. If you have any questions, there's 2 books. Tells you what we did this year. If I didn't give it to you, you're welcome to read through those. I'm going to give you one closing thought. Keep in mind, we are still working with the state auditors on resolving the situation that we had with our former administrator. It is in the State Department's hands. If you want to know anything, your best bet is to tune in to the Madison Plains newspaper, because whatever you read in there is what we as council members know and no more. Okay? Last thought is, the past is forever gone, but the future is still our own. And with that, I'm finished, and we'll go on with the rest of our meeting. Thank you. John, I'm ready for your report.
Richard?
Should say before he starts, we hired John, and we hired a good person. And we get two things out of it. First of all, he's the village administrator, and the other thing is, if you go out here and break some laws, and there's no deputy in town, you're allowed to be taken in by John. So, anyway, we got
How does
two
that
for
work?
one. Two for one.
I try to keep them separated.
But I mean, are you still a deputy sheriff?
John, you're on.
Yeah, to answer your question, I'm still
Oh,
deputy
I
sheriff, but I
didn't
just
know.
don't work in the village. I don't mix the two. So, I don't work in the village. When I'm on, I work for the county at all, not in the village itself. So, thought that was a better way to keep it
You know,
separate.
you brought it up.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I might answer questions. So, community service, I got a couple folks waiting until we have some meaningful work for them. It's cold and I'm not gonna have to do snow plowing, so I don't have any real work for community service folks at the moment, but I do have 2 folks waiting. If they end up getting their community service elsewhere, I would encourage them to admit it, and we've talked to them about that, so. Wastewater treatment plant, still working on those. We did move all of the solid biomaterials to SWACO, Solid Waste Authority of Central Ohio. We moved 208 tons, and so we're clean there, so we won't have the EPA in our pocket because we're not an approved storage facility, so we got that rectified. We have the heaters for weather, heating and cooling, or heating and plumbing. They're on order. We should get them in here shortly, and we're going to have those installed so we keep the building warm. We're doing it with a salamander heater and some box fans right now. Kind of primitive, but it works, so we don't freeze anything. So we're still waiting for those to come in. Ladders and platforms over both of the elevated tanks are being fabricated by K-Car. We should have those coming in before too long also. We did all the boiler work on that. We did all this cleaning of the press itself. We got new water treatment in the boiler room. We got the certification. We got the liability insurance folks have signed off, so we're good to go. We got one probe that's coming in from Washington State that we have to install, and then we're going to fire it up and get rolling again. So we should be back in service very shortly on that. The new water plant, the building installation started last week. The garage is the first portion. 2 main components of the treatment facility arrived in the village Thursday. They only knocked over 2 street signs and nicked the telephone pole bringing them in. So We gotta fix those. They turned in front of your house and almost ate the
Oh, that's
corner.
about the mayor, okay.
It was a 40-foot by 14-foot by 12.5-foot, 60-ton unit, 120,000 pounds. What's called a Duralator, that's the big filter that takes all the raw water and filters it the first time. It's got sand and all kinds of fun stuff in it. Then there's another unit that's probably, I don't know, wide across the building here, that's the reverse osmosis machine. Those were both placed by crane onto the pads, now they're gonna build a building around those. So, they're working on that, the construction of the girders and beams and stuff have all started. Still on track for June 23rd, that hasn't changed any. Current water supply plant continuing on the mechanical water meter change program, we've changed a couple of big meters. That program is starting to manifest itself in what your page 2 shows you as our water analysis. I was concerned early on that we were losing water that was non-revenue water, which there's always gonna be a certain percentage of non-revenue water because we use it to make water. We use it for public facilities and other uses, fire department, flushing hydrants, you're never gonna have 100%. But in changing meters that were broken and having all kind of a better capture of that information, you'll see the totals and everything at the bottom of those. Finished gallons of water, we made 93 million gallons last year. We billed 68 million for a difference of 25. The non-revenue percentages have started to drop in the last several months as we've improved the meter accuracy and replacements. And then you can see the revenue from that also, that's just the water side, that's not sewer. Sewer's separate. I didn't analyze that one because it's contingent on water, and water's the driving force, so. We'll look at how that works through 17. I'll continue to report that and document those data. That's just one of our critical infrastructures. Street signs, we've had a rash of accidents on East Main Street, mostly westbound. Some folks are getting some new cars, not by choice, but probably by insurance. We've had a couple of pretty good wrecks there in the last couple of weeks. One involved 3 cars and another one just involved the second car over the weekend.
John, has that been a matter of speed probably, or?
Well, I don't know if it's a matter of speed, a matter of inattention, a matter of visibility, a matter of parking in narrow roads.
Where is that?
Right along East Main around, what's Vince's house, 93, 95, 100, around and through there.
Trying to get a sense of that. Is that?
Just east of High Street, on East Main.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
When folks come in off the point, if they hang a right, and they come up the road, past the community center, between the community center and High Street is where we're having these hits.
Well, okay, I wanted some specificity only
Yeah.
because, I mean, I cannot tell you how many times my husband and me too, when you're taking your left from High onto East Main, you cannot see, I mean, you
That's
have to
correct.
be
That's-
like right in the
Yeah.
middle practically of the road
Right.
because of the bushes there,
Bushes and cars
And
both.
parked cars.
both.
Correct.
You cannot see unless you are almost in the center of it.
Right, so we're gonna do a little bit of a
There's been
mapping.
3
and-
accidents there?
Yes, recently. One of them involved 3 cars and a tow truck with a car on top of it.
I mean, I'm really not surprised. I
Yeah.
just hope there were no serious injuries.
There's just been a rash in the last few weeks, so we just had another one over the weekend where somebody ate another car, so. I drove it today just out of curiosity. I don't have any speed signs coming in west, so we're gonna post some speed signs, but a speed sign is only, as good as the person who obeys it.
What about a speed bump somewhere
In
close?
a major thoroughfare, if they go down, would probably not permit that. So that is
But I
it is
mean-
a state route.
Well, can you move the no parking, the yellow, can you move
Sure.
that down further?
That's part of the analysis. Well, we're doing analysis on speeds, we're doing analysis on parking locations, we're doing an analysis on signage. There's a possibility to put some caution lights in through there to try to get people's attention and say, why am I slowing down? Well, there must be something up here. There's a whole bunch of ways to do traffic management, so I'm gonna work with those
Well,
guys.
I think, it's pretty obvious the
John,
problem.
I'd like for you to continue your report. If there are any questions of council, save them. No dialogue. just questions. Continue, John.
Okay, so anyway, we're looking into that. We're gonna look at the speed signs and all that. And I'll get some data and I'll have a plan to you sometime. We are moving forward on the Cliffview water removal. The engineer should be in here shortly to start doing that. I did ask the engineer if it's still a feasible project in cold weather, and he said absolutely, you just have to bust through the crust on the top and move down and dig through, so they're still on track with that. The revitalization program, the CDBG grant, we received the quote from the engineer on what the project is going to take, quotation-wise, price-wise. We still have the CDBG money and the OPWC, Ohio Public Works, from round 30. We have some money on that, so we can actually increase the amount of repair that we were going to do with little to nothing coming out of the coffers in the village itself. So well, not little to nothing, but our cost should not increase for the depth that we're going to go. And work on the projects, items at Mason Park. The weather has slowed us down a little bit for pouring concrete and putting in batting cages and such, but as soon as the spring hits, dries up a little bit, J-Car will be hitting that pretty hard. They're on the contract there, and I have full confidence that we'll hit the season with all that stuff ready to go. So that's all I have for right now. Again, you have water analysis there, and as soon as I get some more specificity on the bidding and the spec books for Clevenger, I'll inform you on that.
Hey, John, I'd like to compliment the good work the town workers did during that snow spell. They had them streets solid and very quickly.
Yeah, that's a plan that we put together, not through any work of mine. It's Brett and Chris and Dennis and Dave and Tyler and all of them. They know what they're doing. We did rehab a lot of equipment in anticipation of that, so plow blades and scraper edges and cleaning equipment and maintaining it, getting it all ready. We've done a lot of that, so it's a bit of a flurry toward the fall as we felt snowflakes coming. So we're ready, and we're ready when it hits again. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. Sheriff's Department?
I put the report on in front of you there. The first two pages are November and December's calls for service. Your third page is a comparison from 2012 all the way to 2016. Some of the calls for services, the main ones. And then on the last page is an email from Amanda Hampton wanting to know she's ready to go. She's got 2 other people ready to go. She just wants to know when council would like for them to come down and put on a presentation about the open problem. So I put that in there so you guys can discuss when you think would be a good time, and then I can get back with her and we can get them down here. And I still have the village resident that's a recovering addict that's still willing to come in and speak to council, explain what she went through, how she beat it, and right now I think she's 8 years sober.
Okay. Can we schedule her for the next meeting? Is there any objections to that?
I think that sounds good.
All right,
For the next meeting?
next meeting.
Okay.
Hey, Jack, I really think that's a good idea. The people have to know how bad that habit is with some people, where they can get to the point they have to steal and stuff, and the heroin gets so bad for them. You know? And it's in the whole Tri-County area.
Law Director?
I have nothing.
Clerk of Council? Finance?
All right, you had the list of payments, and we got in early and got that done, and Cindy was able to lead us into some information, and so I didn't see anything on here that was not already answered, already looked at, and so we would need a motion on recommendation of finance to pay the bills and so forth.
Okay, any questions on the finance?
Well, I do have a couple if you want me to wait till the second motion and then discussion.
You have questions on the bills?
I do, but I didn't know if you wanted to have your second motion on her motion and then discussion before I,
Well, we're ready to have a motion on the pay the bills. Let's have the motion first.
I have that motion.
Second?
No second?
Now discussion on the bills.
yeah. and-
Give it by the warrant number.
Okay, well, I just want to say that I did call town hall on Friday. I was hoping to catch Cindy, or even Bonnie, I didn't know, you know.
What's your
And
question?
neither one of them were here. I just want to say that because I was criticized at the last meeting for raising questions about the bills in a meeting, but, you know, if no one's here to answer your questions, it's hard to ask.
All right, your
Okay.
first question is,
Then my first question, I'm talking about payment, numbers 9901 and 9902.
9941?
No, 01, is this one? 01 and 01 and 02, specifically Medical Mutual for 8616 and Medical Mutual of Ohio 11594. I was just wondering what period of time these particular warrant items cover, why they're broken out into two parts. I was confused about that.
I'd like to answer, but I don't memorize the vouchers as I go through them, so.
Well, one of them's for 8,616
Right,
We
for
know.
MMO,
and the other one is 11.
11,594 Medical Mutual. So those
Recall
two.
anything about that? Committee member, what about you?
No, I don't.
No.
Mary Lou, the 86 was a late bill for December, and the second one was the prepayment for January.
Oh, for the January.
That's why they're close together, because the bill never got to us. When I was talking to Medical Mutual, I wondered why we hadn't had a bill, and they sent it to us a little late. So they kind of came a little more close to each other.
So what was the late bill for then?
The late bill was for cover December. And the
Cover-
policy,
Normally, we would have paid that in
we
November.
normally would have paid it back in November, but we
That's a
didn't.
premium bill?
Yes, ma'am.
That is a premium bill.
Both of those are premium bills. One was December's, one was January.
Okay,
We just got the bill for December quite late.
I understand now.
next question?
And then my next question was on, okay, so the 63,000 for the Madison County Sheriff, is that for 1 quarter? What is the
The bill is
63, what
quarterly
does
or
that
what's
cover?
that half? It's quarterly.
It's
I
quarterly.
don't know.
It's quarterly. The whole contract's like 240 or something like that, so that was quarterly.
That's what I thought, but I just
That's
wanted to
3
make
months.
sure. Okay, I think that's all I have for right this second.
Done?
Yeah, for the moment.
So we have a motion and a second. Any further questions? Roll call vote.
Diane?
Yes.
Maria?
Yes.
Rebecca? Jim?
Yes?
Mary Lou?
Yes.
Cindy?
Yes.
And, just follow that up, John, anytime we need finance committee, let me know.
Right.
And mayor same, please.
Okay?
There's nothing scheduled as of now.
We'll probably need one in January. I got a couple ordinances I need to have looked at.
I just had one other question for the Finance Committee Chairperson. I know that the folks from the auditor's office came and they did a full analysis of the village's fiscal situation. And I was just kind of wondering in a general way what some of their analysis revealed about our
I
fiscal
have no,
soundness.
I have no clue, and I base that on the fact that they don't have a clue. They have given our fiscal officer and the mayor the constant runaround. You know as much as I do about where we are. They were supposed to be sending help. That was a year ago.
Yeah.
And no one has ever shown up. So even as finance chair, I couldn't really pursue any avenue toward them because they hold all the cards. And we can demand all we want to, which the mayor has done, and he's been in communication with Yost. They're not giving us anything. We have no more idea of where we are than what's on these papers that's relevant to contemporary times. I'm sorry to say, but they have sorely let us down. We don't know, they don't tell us anything. Absolutely no. Same from county, nothing.
Anything else from finance?
No.
Arts and Rec?
Yeah, one thing that has come up recently that I think is a real exciting thing that is being offered to kids and things in the community is Jack Dill put together a great program that has to do with how to create a really quality video. And Jack, what is the start date of that?
February 17th.
He's put together an awesome workbook. There's information I know. Is it on our village website?
Yes.
And it's also on our chamber Facebook page. And I think it's being shared around. You just need to contact Jack Dill. It's really geared toward like teenagers or maybe a little bit younger. But there's a series of how many classes?
We're looking at 16.
16 classes. And this is going to put together wonderful quality videos. They're going to be going around doing things in the village. We're thinking maybe down the road put together one that the chamber can use featuring businesses or maybe, football games. So it's a great, great course. It's absolutely free. Jack's put together a really, really nice workbook for the kids to work out of. And it's something they could post to YouTube or whatever down the road. It's something we hope to offer again and again, like maybe later this spring or fall. But it really is, it looks interesting. I know I've learned a lot. If you've seen any of his videos, they're very quality, the way they have music and kind of fade in and out. And it's a way for the kids to do hands-on work. Also, you mentioned the football camp, and just to let folks know that the James Cotton football camp, which is the OSU players or the ex-OSU players, is scheduled to be back here in the village July 1st. And we're real excited. It's going to be, that's during the time that our next festival will be going on. It's on Saturday. Of course, you'll be seeing a lot more information as the year progresses, but those are two exciting events that we have coming up.
Good. Okay, any others?
Just very quickly, Jack showed me the lesson plans.
And that's,
And it's amazing because
yes,
they tie in with exactly what's happening at school with these kids.
yeah.
And it gives them an opportunity to see that what we're learning in that brick building, we're actually gonna be able to do something with it.
Yeah.
So Jack has done a splendid job with those lesson plans.
It really is. It's very professional.
I gotta bring up about the batting cages. I went down there when Jack told me he's down there, and the old ball player in me wanted to go up there and swing the bat, and I said, David, you're not too old to do this anymore, but it's great for the high school team, Jack, I wanna compliment, everybody was working good.
Great for all the kids.
Yes, yes.
All right. Anything else on festivals and recreation?
That's it
We
for now.
had a good year, we had a lot of things planned, weekends, fall, Christmas, and then to borrow a comment from one of the comic strips, the little boys saying, now that Christmas is over and New Year's is over, now we can get back to abnormal. So I thought that was clever. All right, Tri-County Fire District.
We had the last meeting of the year for December the 29th of 2016.
Oh, this is.
They approved the minutes from November, paid the bills, signed the warrants. The remodeling is being finished up. They still had the carpet and the woodwork put down yet, and it will be finished. They received grants from Stanley Electric and American Legion for 3 thermal image cameras. They renewed their insurance, and the rescue truck was out for repairs on the front suspension.
Okay, any questions regarding the report? I spoke and I need to talk to Mary Lou, and I had Sterling Joint Ambulance District on my mind when I called that out. So, Sterling Joint Ambulance District.
Meeting on Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock. Public meeting.
This Wednesday?
The 11th, the second Wednesday.
Okay. Pleasant Township,
They had a meeting on January 2nd. They approved the minutes, paid bills and signed warrants. They discussed repairs on the mowers and parts needed. They got a repair on a small truck and installed new fire extinguishers on the trucks and in the garage, and discussed their yearly convention,
when is their next meeting?
next Monday.
Okay?
So
Any other-
as I understand it, I'm on the Pleasant
That's right.
Township
Yes,
now,
that's correct.
so.
Next
in the-
Monday is your first meeting.
Okay, so it's the first and third,
First and third.
basically, okay, wait, okay, just wanna make sure.
I don't
And
have
they
any.
still meet over at
Township House.
okay. I know for a while they were meeting here one day, so they fixed that, okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Ordinances and resolutions, I have none. Roundtable, David?
Yes, I liked, talked to a lot of the merchants during the Christmas in the village. They said they all did well, and it was good to see the sidewalks with people with them, and, even put up with my Christmas caroling, which has gotta have good ears to put up with that, but I think everybody had a good season this year. Just wanna compliment that.
Mary Lou, anything? Jim?
I'd just like to thank the village employees for the work they done last year, and the village administrator for all the work that he done, and hopefully we'll have a good year this year.
Okay. Rebecca?
Nothing.
Diane?
Yes, actually, if I could just have a minute or two and no more. I just want to say, first of all, that I do not consider it noise, as the mayor used the word. To expect the mayor to adhere to the sunshine laws, specifically ORC 121.22, I do not consider it noise to expect the mayor to adhere to 121.22, which specifically stipulates how executive sessions are to be conducted. It is not sufficient, and you can go to the sunshine laws or the ORC, and it specifically states it is not sufficient to say that an executive session is to happen for personnel reasons. It quotes those very words. It is not sufficient. So when I questioned the mayor, it was not to be in any way confrontational. It was just to, if we're going to conduct one, let's do it according to code, according to the statutes, and that's all I was trying to press upon him at that juncture. In fact, this council has violated this statute as recently as November 14th, when it took up Resolution 33 behind closed doors, under the ambiguous pretext of personnel. It was wrong then, it was wrong tonight, and it'll be wrong anytime it happens again. So I would like us to have a New Year's resolution as a council that will follow the ORC, that will have few executive sessions, and conduct our business in open chambers before the public. And, you know, I mean, like tonight, for example, when your chief fiscal officer is resigning, I mean, that's certainly something that should have happened.
I've had enough of this.
Okay, but let me
And
just,
I'm
I just
declaring
have
the
a
meeting
question.
adjourned.
When is Cindy's last day? You never said.
Pardon me?
When is our fiscal officer's last work day? You never said.
I'm not revealing any more of that letter. But
Okay.
whether it's noise or whatever,
It's not
we're going to
noise.
run this meeting in an order. If I have to rap the gavel, I will rap the gavel. If I have council members that are talking continuously, oh, don't do that, I will have you
Okay.
put out of here right now.
Sorry, I'm taking it off. Don't push
Well, I'm
me.
telling you right now, I'm not gonna tolerate this anymore. The meeting is adjourned. If she wants to wrap her foot on the table, that's her problem. But I'm not going to tolerate this. We're going to have an orderly council meeting. She doesn't like it? She
Public
can
comment?
leave.
Public comment?
Public speaking?
Yeah, public comments.
I'm adjourned. Are the rest of you adjourned? Do you want anything?
I've adjourned it.
Public comments?
Anyone in the audience want to talk?
Yeah.
Come on.
You?
Come on up so I can hear you.
Turn up your hearing aid, Noel, turn up your
Well,
hearing.
that's not the point. And I'm not
I
in
was
a very
wondering if the
favorable.
open checkbook suggestion that had been made previously was still being considered, and what if any actions have been taken to research that issue? Like to know if or when council meetings will be available for public viewing online via the internet. I would also like information on the Veterans Memorial that was part of the neighborhood revitalization grant. Since it seems to have been omitted from the updates, it was something that people wanted, it was part of the grant. And once again, I would like to remind the village, it's been many, many years since ordinances and resolutions have been posted for public viewing in places like the post office or wherever.
All right?
And on the village website, there's a tab that says contact us. When you click on it to send an email message, it either doesn't work, somebody doesn't monitor it, or it doesn't get responded to. Thank you very much.
Now, Bobby, you're looking at a man who's producing a tape of this meeting. Right behind you. See?
I know that.
So, it's posted.
He's not doing it for the village. He's not doing it, being paid for it. People are paying him out of their own pockets.
What difference does it make who does it? Who does it? It's posted.
The village was supposed to have new equipment and be video
being
recorded
recorded right
and
now.
recorded. It was stated at a previous meeting, I can make it happen today. It can be on YouTube today, whatever you want.
I'm going to wrap the gavel. If you want to bring me the questions, we'll take them up
That
there.
was the question.
It's on the
Meeting's
website.
adjourned.
The last meeting's on the website.
Thank you very much.
It's usually the day after or the next day.
Appreciate that.
So we basically have one on our village website, and then Brad, you have yours on the current events. Right. Yep. So it's in two places.
Yeah. That's nobody doing it.
Does anyone else have any comments?
I have a question. Is the empty council seat gonna be filled? Is that a possibility that the empty council seat may be filled?
Rebecca, if you'll come up,
Oh, sorry.
all the way, I can hear you, come up here. And Bobby, don't refer to my hearing as needing a hearing aid. I think that's very impolite.
I was just curious if the empty council
Me
seat
too,
was
Jen,
gonna
for the other
get
people.
filled anytime soon, if that was an option for
It's
the.
still an option. It doesn't have to be filled.
It doesn't have to,
No.
but could it be?
Yes, it could be.
What would be what would have to make that happen?
Council have to discuss it, and decide what they want. They've already decided they weren't gonna fill it.
Oh, what would be the reason?
I don't know if they gave one.
I wanted to fill it, so I don't know, I can't speak for other council members. I wanted it to be filled, I still want it to be filled.
All right. Point was made. Thank you.
Don't ever joke with me, and don't ever say anything to me again.
I'm afraid to turn it off.
Yeah, you never know. That was news. You think they posted it on the website, wouldn't you?
Well, that's the one that.
I wanted to get a couple more, but I guess the things that could.
No, don't
Jack
you ever
didn't
laugh and joke with me either. Don't you ever laugh and joke with me either. The meeting's over, I'm sorry.
That's all right. But I'm gonna tell
I
you,
don't need to
don't
be-
ever
I don't
refer
need
to
to
my
take it from
hearing
you.